Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amalia Fitriani and my ID number is 18 21 22 040 from class B. I will explain chapter 3, how do we assess. It's still in point 3, alternative assessment methods, a closer look at portfolio assessment. I will continue the materials. First is criteria for evaluating your writing. The second is communicating results. Third is planning for portfolio assessment, and the last is the complexity of assessment. Alright, first is criteria for evaluating your writing. There are 5 criteria. First is excellent. Second is well developed. Third is acceptable. Fourth is partially developed. And the last is undeveloped, unclear. Each criteria has differences in focus, in support, in organization, in style, and mechanics. For example, the criteria of excellent, the focus is the topic is insight, remains on topic throughout, and state main idea and 3 supporting ideas in the introduction, and relates conclusion directly to the main idea. And support, for example, reason and explanation are relevant, accurate, and convincing, and then sufficient but concise and specific. An organization has effective introduction, body, and conclusion, and then the paragraph flow from one to the next, and sentences are linked within the paragraph. And in style, it is excellent sentences variety, excellent vocabulary, it is period and accurate, and then formal level of language. And then in mechanic, the error is major, and then 2 or 3 errors. And next, well developed, you can read it. The second is communicating result. The teachers can take advantages from the portfolios. It is in students-led conference or at a class meeting. The students can share their portfolios with their classmates and learn from each other. And in a parent-teacher conference, the parent can see aspects of their children's experience in a school and invite stakeholders to be more actively involved in enhancing their education. And then the third is planning for portfolio assessment. If we want to make a portfolio assessment, we can make a question checklist to prepare a portfolio assessment. There is 10 questions checklist. First is, what is the purpose of the course? Of course, we can explain our purpose of the course in here, and then who will be taking it, and why are students taking this course. So we can explain the reason why the student should take this course. And then, are there any constraints? And next is, what are my learning outcomes? What we want the students in the end of periods, our learning outcomes. And next is, what should I assess as evidence of learning? And then, when and how often should I assess learning? Whether it's during class or formative assessment, or we may use summative assessment in the end of a period, or we can also use reflective assessment, and it is for learning as assessment. And then, when and how often should my students self-assess their learning? As I said before, it can be in the end or during the class. And next is, what are my guidelines or requirements for the portfolio? And the last is, how much value will I place on each requirement? Alright, and the last material is the complexity of assessment practices. The complex practices are shaped by consideration of, first is context. It is for adults or children, it is for EFL or ESL students, and so on. And the second is purpose. The purpose is for student-centered, instruction-centered, or administration-related. And the third is method. The method we use is instructor-made or student-made and standardized, or external testing of reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And the last is procedure. Sources of assessment, feedback and reporting, the time spent on assessment, its value or weight, and so on. Alright, that's all from me. Thanks for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.